They arrived on time, which felt like a small mercy. The restaurant sat at the edge of town, all white clapboard and trimmed hedges, the kind of place that suggested rules even before you crossed the threshold. The anniversary had been his idea, his insistence, really, because tradition mattered to him when it could be displayed. Katie walked a half step behind them. She was introduced as if she were furniture. "She'll join us," he'd said on the phone, voice smooth, already moving on. No explanation offered, no space left open. At the table, linen folded into precise angles, he ordered wine without asking. He spoke to the server with easy authority, then turned back to his plate. The narrator, his wife, noticed how Katie kept her hands folded in her lap, how she waited to speak and then didn't. Not fear exactly, something practiced. The room hummed with low voices and cutlery. Everything felt expensive and restrained. When he excused himself, bathroom, phone call, it wasn't clear. The silence widened. That was when the waitress came back. Not the one who'd taken the order, but another, older, with calm eyes and a badge that said Mara. She set down bread, then paused just long enough to slide a folded slip of paper toward Katie. No eye contact, no theatrics, just a quiet, professional motion. Katie read it once. Her face didn't change much. She stood, chair barely scraping, and walked away as if she were going to the restroom. The back corridor swallowed her. When he returned, he asked where Katie had gone. His tone carried mild annoyance, as if she'd broken a rule he'd never explained. "She stepped out," his wife said. It was true enough. A minute passed, then another. The narrator felt something click into place. Not a revelation, more like the final alignment of pieces she'd been turning over for months. The late nights explained as mentorship, the way he spoke about Katie's potential, the way he'd insisted she come tonight, framed as generosity. The waitress, Mara, returned with the wine. She set the glass down and said quietly, "Management will be with you shortly." He frowned. "For what reason?" She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Two men in dark jackets approached, along with the floor manager, a woman with a tablet and a practiced calm. They addressed him by name. That, more than anything, shifted the air. "We've had a report," the manager said, "and a prior incident on record." He laughed once, sharp. "This is ridiculous. We need to ask you to step away from the table." His wife stayed seated. She folded her napkin carefully, hands steady. Around them, the restaurant continued its low murmur. No one stared. Authority, when it works, doesn't need spectacle. As they escorted him toward the front, the manager turned back to her. "You're welcome to remain. Your check has been covered." Outside, a car door closed. The sound carried, then faded. She sat for a moment longer, breathing in the quiet. The anniversary date rested heavy but inert, like a stone she no longer needed to carry. When she stood, Mara was there again, offering a small nod toward the back hall. "Good luck," the waitress said. Not kindly, honestly. Later, alone, the understanding settled fully. Katie hadn't betrayed anyone by leaving. She'd chosen herself when no one else would. And that choice, plain, uncelebrated, had opened a door the narrator hadn't known she was allowed to walk through. There would be consequences, paperwork, conversations, the slow work of disentangling a life built on misplaced loyalty. But as she stepped into the evening, the air felt lighter than it had in years.